Villanova versus Kansas, Duke versus North Carolina. The Final Four is here, and so are my best bets. Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is Austin from Calling Our Shot. I'm going to give you guys my favorite spread pick for both of these Final Four games on Saturday, April 2nd. I'll give you a couple reasons as to why I'm leaning that way. I'll give you each game will be timestamped down below in case you're watching it a little bit after the first game has started. But either way, don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the Calling Our Shot channel. We appreciate you for joining. We're trying to close in on 30,000 subscribers. I believe almost 500 away from that. So we can't do it without you guys. We do this video. We'll do another one on Championship Monday in a couple days. Then we obviously do our daily NBA best bets, and we have MLB starting on Thursday with the daily videos. Either way, my last note, Caesar Sportsbook doing a super cool, great sign-up bonus. You got to use the link in the description. You sign up, and if your first bet loses, you get a refund up to $1,100. Super awesome promo. It helps support the Call on Our Shot community. Definitely take advantage of it if you haven't signed up for Caesars. Use that link down below in the description. Check it out. Also, drop your comments in the below for the players that you think are going to hit. Are you riding with Duke today? You riding with Kansas? Villanova, UNC, drop your favorite plays down below. Curious what you guys are riding with. But let's start with the first game on the slate. The Villanova Wildcats taking on the Kansas Jayhawks. Tip-off scheduled for 6:09 p.m. Eastern Time. Kansas currently sitting as 4.5-point favorites, over under 132.5 points. Let's start with Villanova. How did they get here? Now we look at it. They are the 2 seed. Then the first round, they beat Delaware by 20, then Ohio State by 19, Michigan by 8, and then in the Elite 8, they beat Houston by 6 points. Now, one of the biggest storylines in this one, their star guard, Justin Moore, their second leading scorer, I think averaging roughly 14.8 points per game or so. He tore his Achilles in their final matchup against Houston, so he will obviously not be here today. And that's going to be a big loss. We're going to rely on Colin Gillespie to carry the majority of their offense. He's their leading scorer, their star guard. Jermaine Samuels, also pretty good. And one glaring issue for Villanova, this team plays a lot of really just a 6-7 man rotation. They can play 6 players over 30 minutes per game. Justin Moore was one of those guys, so I expect to see Gillespie basically out there for the full 40 minutes if he can avoid foul trouble. They're going to put a lot of pressure on those guys to carry the load because they don't really have a lot of scoring coming off their bench besides those 6 guys. They're in their 6th man. Now, either way, now we turn the table. We look at the Kansas Jayhawks. How'd they get here? They were the 1 seed. They took care of business in the first round, taking down Texas Southern, beat them by 27, then Creighton by 7, then Providence by 5. And then they were struggling against Miami in the first half, and then they flipped the script and blew them out in the second half, winning by 26 points. Great guard play. They got Remy Martin coming off the bench, who's been exceptional in the NCAA tournament. And they got David McCormack, who's an absolute beast. He doesn't play a ton of minutes, but he does start at center, and he's a beast. And he's a matchup nightmare for a lot of teams, and that was a big difference maker against Miami. Now, obviously, Villanova, coached by Jay Wright, the great coach. And Kansas, another great coach, Bill Self. Both guys that have been here before. Now we look, despite Villanova being down Justin Moore, this is my pick. I'm going to go with the Villanova Wildcats plus 4.5. Now, we do look at it. They obviously, we have seen Justin Moore out, and that can be a question mark in itself. But I like Jay Wright a little bit more in this matchup. He's one of the greatest coaches in college basketball. He's obviously won a couple championships with Villanova. These two teams did match up, Kansas and Villanova, back in 2018 in the Final Four. Kansas lost by 16 points to Villanova. Colin Gillespie, he can carry the team, and I think the bench will step up. I mean, you can't really plan for a lot of guys on the bench because you don't really know what their games are capable of. You haven't seen them too much. So give me the Wildcats plus the 4.5 points. It's minus 110 on BetMGM. And I do think they have a chance to win it outright, but I don't see this game being a blowout. I think this game will be pretty close, coming down to the last shot or last couple possessions. And I think the Wildcats can keep it within 4.5 points. So I'll count on Jay Wright, one of the better coaches in college basketball. I'll be counting on him to get it done and get to the NCAA championship where they haven't been in a couple years, but he's a great coach. There's a reason they've won two conference or 2 championships with him as the head coach. So moving on to the second game, though, we're going to talk about Duke versus North Carolina. Currently, Duke 4-point favorites, over under 150.5 points. Now, despite being rivals, because we all know the Duke and UNC rival, you're going to see a ton of commercials, a ton of different things we'll be talking about during the Kansas game, as this is the tip-off, I believe, like 8:40 something. Obviously, it'll be about 20 to 30 minutes after the preceding game, but obviously, we all know the big storyline. This year is Coach K's final year, and I know it's unreal, and crazy as it is, UNC and Duke, although they have a historic rivalry, one of the biggest rivalries in college basketball, they've never played in the NCAA tournament, which is ridiculous. And so Duke, you look at them, they look like a team of destiny. They're currently the 2 seed. Obviously, this is Coach K's last year. It wouldn't be a great storybook ending if they can somehow win the championship, but we look at how they got here. They were the 2 seed. They beat CSU Fullerton by 17, then Michigan State by 9, Texas Tech by 5, and then Arkansas by 9 points in the Elite 8. Obviously, they're led by Paolo Banchero, a future potentially the top pick in the NBA draft, but definitely a top 5 pick. Wendell Moore, very good too. He should probably be a lottery pick, at least in the first round in the NBA. In the NBA draft this upcoming summer. Mark Williams, their center, very good too. They got a lot of other talented players on their team. They got a lot of talent. Obviously, Coach K, great at recruiting. Now, UNC, on the other hand, led by first-year head coach Hubert Davis, who's replacing Roy Williams, the iconic UNC coach. They enter the tournament as an 8 seed. They really shouldn't be here, but they've played very well. One of the best playing teams in the tournament so far. They beat Marquette by 32. Baylor, a team that a lot of people thought would win the championship, they beat them by 7. They beat UCLA by 7, and then St. Peter's in the Elite 8, taking down the underdog Cinderella story by 20 points. It wasn't even a game. Now they're led by leading scorer Armando Bacot. Caleb Love's very good. Brady Manick, all these guys very good, stepping up when the light shines the brightest. These guys have been stepping up, bringing their A game. And obviously, these teams have played twice this season. They're obviously coming from the ACC. Big rivalry. We see both teams win one game, and they both did it on the road. Duke beat UNC by 20 back on February 5th at UNC, and UNC came back, beat Duke by 13 in Coach K's final home game in Cameron Indoor Stadium. Kind of a little spoiler, a little villain to Coach K's final game in Cameron Indoor. But either way, Duke, they made the Final Four 13 times under Coach K. They're 9-3 straight up. This is obviously the 13th time they made it. 9-3 straight up in those games. And like I said, Hubert Davis, this is his first year head coaching this UNC team. So round of applause to him for getting them this far. But when I look at this, I think this game comes down to a couple different things. I just think Coach K and the team might be able to get it done. UNC could play spoiler. You look at, Coach K's probably they have more lottery NBA talented guys, but still, they're going to have a lot of name recognition. I imagine a lot of people will be on it. So with that being said, my spread pick for this game is Duke -4, -110 on FanDuel. You can see I got my Duke jersey on, and yes, this is a joke, so don't you dare go down below in the comments like, I've seen Coach K talking to the refs during the games. We see the refs smiling. Look, the NCAA, this is a money-driven business, and if they're going to make it, the NCAA is going to make a little bit more money if Duke's there. It's a storybook ending. Coach K is obviously one of the most iconic coaches in NCAA history. He's been there for so long, and sure, UNC could play spoiler to Coach K, ending not only his final game in the indoor stadium, Cameron Indoor, and then also ending his hopes for a championship in his final year coaching. I just don't see it happening. I think they have too much talent on the Duke side. I think the talent will play out and they'll win this one. Now I think they can cover the 4 points. We're taking a -4. I think they can at least push that, maybe win by 5 to 10 points. I don't see that happen. I see them being able to win this game. Now UNC playing super well. I got to give them credit where credit is due. But I just think when it's all said and done, Duke will have a little bit more talent than UNC on the floor. And if UNC gets a couple guys in foul trouble, they're in trouble, and they've been shooting it well from the three-point line. They haven't been shooting well all season long. So either way, I'm going to ride with the UNC, or not the UNC, I'm going to ride with the Duke Blue Devils into this one, minus the 4 points. And then the first game, I'm riding with Villanova, +4.5. So obviously, you guys know we haven't bet a ton of college basketball this season, but those are going to be my 2 plays. Do whatever you want with them, tail or fade. Do whatever you want. But either way, good luck. I'll enjoy. We're going to be watching these games regardless. Might as well have a little bit of money on the line. But I'll see you guys in the normal NBA videos, and we'll see you in the NCAA tournament video, probably posted late Sunday night as the game is on Monday, April 4th. Reminder about that Caesar Sportsbook promo offer. Super cool one. Definitely take advantage of it. Links in the description. I appreciate you for tuning in. Good luck. Enjoy the Final Four games, and I'll see you guys again in the next one. Peace.